Hey guys, hope you're all well. Right, as you can probably tell from a community post that I've done, I haven't been too good. Hence why I haven't done any videos for what? I released one Christmas Day, didn't I? Luckily I had that in the bag ready to go. So I haven't really been in here at all. I've been lying in bed and flapping around like a dying fish. Oh, so anyone who didn't read the community post, I managed to get myself that COVID thing again. That's twice I've tried it out. Both times I've not enjoyed it at all. I know to some it's just the flu. Think of it what you wish, that's not a problem to me. I don't deal well with it at all. At all. It absolutely floored me again. I was saying in the community post, I'm one for just getting on with things. I've cut plasters off broken hands to carry on working. I've put dislocated joints back in several times and performed operations on myself with scalpels and boiling water. Probably won't go into too much detail about that one. But yeah, normally I like to plough on, but this thing, out for the count. I don't know what it is, but it's evil. Anyway, Happy New Year to you all. I hope you've all had an amazing time. I hope you've all had a fantastic Christmas. And I hope the year is amazing for everybody. And obviously, we'll keep ploughing on with what we're doing here. Keep fighting forward and hopefully go on for many more years to come. I'd like to thank everybody again. You have to excuse me. I'd like to thank everybody again who's stuck with me with this little channel. I can't thank you all enough. All your patrons, the people who just watch, people who have pressed the thank you button on YouTube, everything. I appreciate every single one of you because it basically it elbows me to carry on. So I can't thank you enough about you guys. Obviously this will be pointless and impossible. So it's you lot that keep me going. So I appreciate that immensely. Like I say, I can't thank you all enough for that. You've been truly amazing through this year and hopefully we can carry on for another year. Obviously the main focus of everything at the moment is the BMW. You can probably see it's got a front wheel in it with a tyre on. There's been the odd day where I started to sort of feel okay. I thought, right, I'll try something today. And got so far and just, yeah, no good again. But I actually had this wheel down the house. In between falling asleep and everything, I've been trying my best to true this wheel up. I do apologise I've not filmed any of it because I have never ever in my life had such a difficult wheel to try and true up. It does not make any sense whatsoever. I have tightened this wheel up and loosened it back off more times than I can count. Truly bizarre. So I'll probably go through a bit of it actually, what I've done. So today, this morning, well, late morning, I came up here and sort of got my head around it a little bit better. But I looked online, there's so many stories of people saying, don't touch them, you'll never get it. People slinging them out the door, getting so frustrated with them. There's wheel builders that refuse to touch them. I've seen that BMW itself, if they've out of true so much or missing some spokes, they scrap them. They won't even attempt to put them right. They replace with new wheels. So I was getting quite concerned about all this. Oh my God, it really is that bad. But I got there in the end. I persevered and got there. Although, where have I put it? There is a casualty. I don't know where I've put it. I snapped a spoke. I was gutted, absolutely gutted and mortified. And believe it or not, it was undoing it. It just, some of you know what I mean with stainless steel. Sometimes it can bind up and it's finished. So it bound up when I was undoing it, and tink, snapped it. I was gutted, so I've got to get another spoke. But I ploughed forward. I thought, you know, one spoke, I should still be able to sort that out. One spoke missing. They ride along with several spokes missing. It's BMW, that was renowned for spokes flying out. So I've managed to do it. It's within tolerance anyway. I've got to say, the rear wheel, when I come to do that, because obviously that's got to be stripped out, powder coated and relaced with stainless spokes, I am not touching it. Definitely. I've threw the towel in on that idea, and I've found one person who will actually do these wheels. Someone actually mentioned him in the comments actually as well. So this guy used to own Devil Rim Company, and he broke away and he just literally specialises mainly in BMW wheel building. So I think, to be on the safe side, especially the rear wheel with the drive going through it and everything, I'm going to pass the rear wheel to him. I'll get all the powder coating done and then pass that to him. Obviously he doesn't know it yet. I've just looked him up online and I'm going to get someone else to do it, because this was pure hell. I'm not going to lie, it was pure hell. The slightest of adjustment on each spoke, if you went slightly more on the next spoke, it would throw the whole wheel out in a different place. Just could not quite get my head around how it's all working. It probably sounds stupid, but some of you may have had a go at one of these and know exactly what I mean, and some of you may have persevered like I have and eventually got it to a stage where it's okay. But you have to excuse me, this was unbelievable. Let's have a look round it. So first I put all the spokes in, and I tried just getting it all about right in the old frame here with the dial gauge. I couldn't even get it near doing that. After several attempts at undoing it again, going round by hand, trying to do them up by hand, just getting it into some sort of circle that was running true-ish to then follow up with doing them all up, was just going all over the place. I thought, oh, maybe it's because I'm a bit under the weather, I'm not thinking right, I don't know. So then I decided, very, very crude setup, put my surface block down where I put the hub on the surface block. Then the rim would sit on these two strips of metal here, which were measured up. As you can see, all high-tech stuff. I've packed it up with cutting disc. So that put the rim central, if you can see what I mean. And then I went round all the spokes, just taking the slack out of every one. Not enough to pull it about, just taking the slack out. So that sort of got me in a good place to start, with the hub and the rim flat, true, with all the spokes just with the slack out of them. Then back into the frame to start truing it up. The amount of times I've done that, like I say, I have lost count. Doing it up and doing it, doing it up and doing it, back on that bench, back on the wheel balance. It was just insane. But eventually this morning, after about 357 attempts, I got it going right, which I was very pleased about. So yeah, there it sits. Like I say, I've got a casualty with a snap spoke that bound up and it just got jammed solid and snapped on me. Heyo, it's one of them. These things happen sometimes, and I'll just order a new spoke and get it in. But I'm very pleased, very, very pleased with how it's coming on and how it looks. I know there's going to be loads and loads of questions. Will they wheel it the engine? No, that's all been measured up. It clears it. Yes, the oil cooler is going to be very, very tight, but there's no rule where I've got to put that oil cooler. So all these things are still got to be thought out and tried out, trial and error, and so on. So there's a lot to do still, as you can imagine. There's a lot of thinking to do, and soon we'll be on the back end of the bike. I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll put the tank on it in a moment, because I know there's a few people who want to see it with the tank on, so I'll do that in a minute. So next, now we're getting sort of close to having the front end finalised, we'll start chopping the back end off and getting onto that very soon. Let's put the tank on. Oh, right. Ooh. So it'll probably look quite odd at the minute, obviously without the back end on. You're not going to see the lines that the bike's going to take as I progress with the rear end. So yeah, this is probably going to look quite odd. I don't know, it might look all right. The only thing is, all my hard work in the frame's now gone. It's disappeared. And obviously that tank's going to be white. Colours can completely change the appearance of things, which it will do. I've got the picture in my head, and I'm absolutely positive all this is going to start looking all absolutely fine. Let's have a look around the front. There we go. I can see I've got lots of clearance in there for the forks. You'll probably get some images like with the camera angles or anything where things don't look good, or they look like they're going to collide and things like that. I get that. It's very hard to get a true gauge trying to show you through a camera from what I am actually seeing stood in front of it. But yeah, I think when all that is white, and obviously I'm going to do some sort of sticker kit design for it, it's really going to start standing out. And I definitely wanted to keep the BMW tank. I don't want to like venture far away from how the bike looked, although I guess we are to a certain degree, especially when we start changing the back end. It's like the tank looks really high at the minute, but it has a panel, an infill panel here, which obviously hides all this. Then off that we'll be coming with the seat line straight up, and some sort of enduro-y type back end that I've sort of got the idea settled in my head for that. We've just got to change all the frame. Obviously the footrest hangers will be all gone, the back end will be a lot clearer, all the clutter gone. So yeah, and I shall design my own seat for it so it all fits nice. So that will be coming very soon with the rear end. We'll get all that up and running in the next couple of days, I think. Well, hopefully I'm going to continue to get on the mend. Oh yeah, I'm really pleased with that, how it's coming out. It's probably going to be people say, you've got the tyre on backwards. Hold on. There we go. Just so you know it's not on backwards. But yeah, so far so good. Everything is dropping together. Yeah, if you ever get the chance to build one of them front wheels, or any wheel on these with the weird spoke pattern, don't bother. Don't bother, especially if your patience levels are not that brilliant. You will end up firing it through the nearest window or door. As like I say, the back one, I'm not going to touch it. Definitely not going to touch it. I'm going to just get it all stripped and powder coated, because apparently there can be a bit of a pig to strip because the spoke seize up in the rim. So I'll get it all stripped and powder coated, then it'll be off to this guy who can do it. Plus you need like a hub to mount the rear wheel on to true it up. So, you know, I'd have to go and buy all that, so I might as well pay someone to just do the wheel. and be safe with it being the rear and the drive wheel and everything. I'm confident the front's bang on. I'm happy with that, but it's took me a long time of trying to figure it out. A long time. But it's got there in the end. So there we are. That's a little bit of a catch up to where we are, and hopefully in the next couple of days I'll get my my backside back into gear, and we'll start progressing forward and sharing all the next steps of fabrication and ideas what we've got going on. So there we are, guys. I'm now running out of steam a bit, so I'm gonna not push it and go and have a restful evening. Once again, thank you all so much for this entire year, all the people that have come on board, all the support this silly guy in the garden shed's had. It's just mind-blowing and amazes me every time. Like I say, all the people who have come on with Patreon, I can't thank you guys enough. You're absolutely amazing. All the people that just come and watch, amazing. The people who've hit the thank you button on the videos, that buy me a coffee thing. I don't even like coffee. They should make another one, buy me a tea. You know, I don't normally push all that sort of thing. Someone told me about that. You should push it more. I don't know, I don't like to, you know, some people don't forget to like, subscribe and blah blah blah, and if you want to give me this, give me that, or sponsor me or send me brand new tools, blah blah. I don't like to keep pushing that sort of thing. I don't know why. It's all there. I tell people once in a blue moon things are there if you would like to support the channel. It's entirely up to your personal self. I do not like putting people's arms up their backs, so total free choice. Just come along and watch. That's fantastic. All the rest of it helps me keep going as well, which I'm very, very grateful for. Anyway, I'm not sure what's next on this. We've got loads of stuff to think about, as you know, and the input on this bike's been amazing. All the people's ideas, you know, how you would like to build one, which is great as well. You can probably work out now that I am quite stubborn, and when I get a picture in my head I like to try and achieve that picture in the bike. But seeing people's ideas, there's people that prefer it with a round light on and things like that, which is great. That's personal choice. If we didn't have variety, the custom bike world would be quite boring, wouldn't it? Because we'd all build the same bike, so there'd be no different bikes to look at. So people's different ideas is important, I think. But this is my take on it. KTM bits, Honda bits, we got all sorts. It's going to be a right variety bike with all sorts of different bikes hanging off it, to be honest. But hopefully we'll be on the rear end soon. I've just got to tie up a few things on this. Obviously, we've got to think where the Speedo's going and finalise all that. I can't think straight at the moment. I'm hoping in the next few days I'll be up and running, fighting fit, and we'll be back in here and smacking things with hammers and turning spanners and dropping things and changing my mind and throwing things in the bin, keeping some items, all the usual stuff throughout the year, no doubt. And a bit of going out on the bikes, because Christmas is out the way, and the next thing we all look forward to is the spring coming, so we can all start getting out again. So there'll be some of that along the way as well. Anyway, I'm going to call it that. Happy New Year to all of you. Thank you all again so much. I appreciate every single one of you, and let's hope it's a fantastic year for everybody. Be good to people, stay safe, and I'll see you all soon. Cheers for watching, guys.